By virtue of the authority vested in me, I constitute this congregation of the
Sanibonani, Molweni, Dumelang, good morning. Welcome to the 2026 Autumn Graduation Ceremony. My name is Alan Khan. I'm the Senior Director of Corporate Affairs at DUT, and it's my privilege, pleasure, and honor to serve as your Program Director at this morning's auspicious graduation ceremony. I would like to acknowledge, in absentia, the Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Thandwa Mthembu. Also acknowledge and recognize the Interim Deputy Vice Chancellor, People and Operations, Dr. David Mohale, who's presiding and in the chair this morning. In absentia, the Chairperson of DUT Council, members of DUT Council who are present, members of the Executive Management Committee and Senior Leadership Team, members of the Faculty of Health Sciences, and colleagues from the Administration and Support Services Unit at DUT, members of the Institutional Forum, labor unions, and DUT alumni, President of the Student Representative Council, members of our SRC and Student Parliament, to colleagues in the media, all protocol observed. And then, a very special welcome to all of our graduands, their parents, guardians, family and friends, supporters and funders. Welcome to all of you, our honored guests, those assembled in the hall this morning, and those who are watching our live stream online. On behalf of the entire university community, we are extremely proud to be with you this morning as we celebrate academic excellence and applaud our adaptive graduates for their achievement. Deputy Vice Chancellor, the DUT Envision 2030 strategy, which was launched by the Vice Chancellor and Principal in 2020, is continuing to have a meaningful impact on our university. We are very grateful and extremely proud of all of our students and staff who consistently live the values and principles as enshrined in Envision 2030. In the recent State of the University address delivered by the Vice Chancellor and Principal, Professor Mthembu said that our ambition is clear: to build a university where creativity is not exceptional, but expected, where innovation is not occasional, but continuous, and where our collective efforts translate into meaningful impact for society. This supports our philosophy of education at DUT, which states, our creativity and innovation shapes adaptive graduates who transform society. Deputy Vice Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to introduce you to some of those adaptive graduates who will be presented on the graduation stage today. We are confident that all of our adaptive graduates would go on to make a positive difference to their communities, our country, our continent, and indeed the world. Deputy Vice Chancellor, a total of 7,993 DUT adaptive graduates. I'll repeat that number so it sinks in a little. 7,993 DUT adaptive graduates would be walking this red carpet during our autumn graduation season. 32 graduation ceremonies here in Durban and in Pietermaritzburg. Of the 7,993, 62% of our graduates are women, which means at the Durban University of Technology, girl power is alive and well. Congratulations, ladies. Let's keep rising. To our adaptive graduates who will be graduating this morning, you will now be members of the DUT alumni. I hope that you will be active members of our convocation and that you will positively engage with our colleagues from the Advancement and Alumni Relations Unit. In a short while, we'll be inviting our graduands to walk up the stairs and grace the red carpet and graduate as we present all of our graduands to the congregation. To get us in a celebratory mood, you heard them when the academic procession entered the hall. They have been entertaining us this entire week and last week in the Midlands, the award-winning DUT chorale. We have members of the choir here this morning who will be giving us a wonderful music rendition. So let's give them a round of applause. The award-winning DUT chorale.
Bayale, bayale,
Bayale, bayale,
bathwele iziqu,
bathwele iziqu.
oh bayale na bayale,
Bayale, bayale,
ona bathwele iziqu,
bathwele iziqu.
oh bayale na bayale,
Bayale, bayale,
ona bathwele iziqu,
bathwele iziqu.
noma ngabe izindle zodaka,
Noma ngabe izindle zodaka,
hey noma ngabe izindle zodaka.
noma ngabe izindle zodaka.
Mntanami kusekhaya la,
Kusekhaya la,
mntanami kusekhaya la,
kusekhaya la.
awoma.
Noma ngabe izindle zodaka,
Mntanami kusekhaya la,
kusekhaya la,
mntanami kusekhaya la,
kusekhaya la.
awoma.
Noma ngabe izindle zodaka,
Noma ngabe izindle zodaka,
noma ngabe izindle zodaka.
asebevele bethumutha ba.
Abantu abakholwa ukuthi siyazenzela.
Ala bethumutha ba.
Abantu abakholwa ukuthi siyazenzela.
Vele bethumutha ba.
Abantu abakholwa ukuthi siyazenzela.
Noni nawa.
Intandane,
Noni Noni nawa.
intandane,
Noni Asibivele bethumutha ba.
abantu abakholwa ukuthi siyazenzela. Uyayivumela impi, uyayivumela. Uyayivumela impi, uyayivumela.
Thank you so much. Let's give them another round of applause. Our very talented DUT choir. We will hear from them one more time today, and that's during the singing of the national anthem, but that's only towards the end of this morning's ceremony. Before we introduce you to all of our adaptive graduates this morning, I just have 2 or 3 short announcements to make. The first one, if any one of you feel unwell at any stage during this morning's ceremony, please don't hesitate to notify one of our security team members or one of our ushers. We do have trained emergency medical care professionals on site, and if need be, an ambulance to make further assistance. Let's hope there's no need for any of that this morning, but if it is required, we do have the medical assistance to provide the interventions. Secondly, we urge you to please be respectful and stay for the entire duration of this morning's ceremony. I notice we have 5 red robes of 5 doctorates, and we should be around 2 hours if all goes according to plan. And as much as our graduates in the first and second and third rows get the attention and applause, every adaptive graduate, even if they're seated further back, deserves to have a congregation applaud their academic success and achievement. So please stay with us this morning for the duration of the ceremony. Finally, we realize that all of our adaptive graduates and their families are excited. It's an amazing, memorable moment. Now, some of you in your robes could be plotting to turn the graduation ceremony into a graduation party. We'd humbly request that you help us maintain the dignity and decorum of a graduation ceremony. And even if you are thinking about performing on stage and testing the strength of our wooden stage that may collapse, we urge you to please reconsider. And apart from that, once your name's announced and if you start performing on the stage, there is another adaptive graduate at the podium. Their name also deserves to be heard loud and proud. Their family and friends in the hall and those watching also deserve to have that memorable moment. If you are bringing the roof down and breaking the stage and drowning out the names, you'll be doing a disservice to your fellow students and fellow graduates. So we humbly urge and request that you help us to maintain the dignity and decorum of the ceremony. However, my goodness, the photographs on social media of our DUT graduates partying ever since we started in the Midlands previous Monday has been phenomenal. So we do know, as much as we want you to maintain the dignity and decorum of the ceremony, we do know that some of you who will be graduating this morning will be partying till Sunday evening. Please share some of those photographs online. Hashtag DUT Grad 2026. Now, I may be in my mid-50s, but I'm never too old to learn. When I was in the Midlands, I saw everybody doing this. And when I was growing up in the 80s, this reminded me of Pac-Man, but I realized it had nothing to do with Pac-Man. It meant that you clocked it. So you're about to clock it again. Enjoy the ceremony. Thank you once again for giving us your attention and your applause. I would now like to invite to the podium the Executive Dean for the Faculty of Health Sciences, Deputy Vice-Chancellor. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Professor Mkunu.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I have the honor to request you to confer degrees and diplomas on the graduand from the Faculty of Health Sciences, who will be presented to you and in absentia to those whose names appear on the program.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I confer degrees and award diplomas and certificates.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Doctor of Environmental Health, the title of the thesis is Epidemiological and Environmental Risk Factors Associated with Self-Isolation of COVID-19 Cases in South African Households, developing a localized strategy to minimize transmission and improve patient and contact outcomes. Supervised by Professor P. Reddy. I would like to call upon Prof. Reddy to read the summary for us.
This quantitative repeated cross-sectional study assessed the epidemiological and environmental health risks associated with the self-isolation of COVID-19 cases in South African households, focusing on eThekwini Metro and Umgunguluvu districts. It aimed to develop strategies to reduce household transmission and inform stakeholders for future infectious disease pandemics. Conducted in 2 phases, phase 1 included 237 COVID-19 patients and 236 caregivers, with 1 caregiver per household. Phase 2 involved individuals, 280, who had COVID-19 infection 6 months before the study. In phase 1, the study revealed that 14% of patients did not follow self-isolation guidelines, hand hygiene, social distancing, and waste management, with key findings that 73% shared bathrooms and bedrooms, 69% did not wear masks, and 54% of caregivers worked elsewhere. Non-adherence was associated with distrust in government low household income, overcrowding, receipts of grants, and living in open-plan houses, contributing to increased virus transmission through prolonged contact in closed spaces. Phase 2 found that 73% of individuals with long COVID-19 experienced ongoing psychological and physical challenges. The study highlights that socioeconomic factors hinder adherence to self-isolation guidelines, calling for more flexible government regulations for low-income households. It suggests that future pandemic responses should better support these households and enhance infectious waste management. This work contributes to public health practice, exemplified by a published paper on predictors of long COVID and hospital admissions, with other manuscripts in review.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, for the degree of Doctor of Environmental Health, I present Pafane Moshibudi Poncho.
Look up for the camera. Look up. I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Environmental Health. Congratulations, Dr. Pafane.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, the title of the thesis was The Evaluation of Adherence and Effects of Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis, PrEP, on a cohort of PrEP users in KwaZulu-Natal. The study was supervised by Professor P. Reddy. I will ask Prof. Reddy to come and read the summary again.
Oral pre-exposure prophylaxis, or PrEP, is a daily tablet used by HIV-negative individuals to reduce their risk of acquiring HIV. This mixed methods cohort study investigated PrEP initiation, adherence, knowledge, side effects, and sexual behavioral changes amongst adults in eThekwini, KwaZulu-Natal. The research was conducted in 3 phases. Phase 1 involved qualitative interviews with current PrEP users. Phase 2 collected longitudinal quantitative data at baseline, 3 months, and then 6 months, supplemented by clinic records. Phase 3 incorporated qualitative interviews to enable triangulation. Motivations for PrEP initiation included self-protection, such as personal autonomy and responsibility towards their health, serodiscordant relationships, partner behaviors included infidelity, multiple concurrent partners, and during family planning, and healthcare professional influence. Knowledge sources ranged from digital platforms to interpersonal networks. Adherence was facilitated by reminders, prior PrEP awareness, and peer influence. Side effects, forgetfulness, pill burden, relocation, and clinic accessibility hindered PrEP continuation. Self-reported risky sexual behavior was not observed post-initiation. Disclosure to family, friends, and partners was common and facilitated adherence. Stigma was linked to misconception about PrEP and associations with HIV treatment. The study highlights the critical role of interpersonal relationships, healthcare professionals, and social media in oral PrEP uptake and continuation. Gender transformative strategies and expansion through community and university health clinics can result HIV incidence in South Africa. 2 journal articles and 1 international and 1 national conference output emanated from the current study.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, I present Basdav Yotika.
Look up. I confer upon you the degree of philosophy in health sciences. Congratulations, Dr. Basdaf. Well done.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, the study titled A Probabilistic and Epidemiological Assessment of Health Risks Associated with Recreational Exposure to Contaminated Surface Water, a case of Umsunduzi River, supervised by Prof. M.N. Sibia and co-supervised by Prof. I.D. Amoa and Prof. S.K.K. Pillay. I would like to call Prof. Pillay to read the summary.
This study evaluated the microbial water quality of the Umsunduzi River and established a correlation between exposure to the river and the incidence of diarrheal infections among DUT marathon participants. In addition, the study conducted a theoretical assessment of the pre- and post-exposure risk reduction interventions that have the potential to safeguard participants of the canoe race. The study employed a comprehensive approach which included a water quality analysis using E. coli, Pseudomonas aeruginosa, and Cryptosporidium species as reference pathogens. The detection of E. coli and P. aeruginosa was conducted using IDEX Colilert 18 and pseudo-alert detection and enumeration kits and digital droplet polymerase chain reaction for Cryptosporidium species. An exposure and diarrheal incidence assessment through a prospective survey methodology was conducted, and a quantitative microbial risk assessment was also conducted. Data analysis and interpretation for the exposure and incidence assessments were accomplished using IBM SPSS version 2.7. The probability analysis for the QMRA was conducted using the distribution fitting capability included in the RISC 7.5 program developed by Palisade Corporation. The study detected elevated levels of Pseudomonas and E. coli and Cryptosporidium species in the river water, exceeding acceptable limits set by the World Health Organization and Department of Water Affairs and Forestry. And the exposure diarrheal incidence assessment revealed a significant association between river exposure and diarrheal infections, with a 97% increased risk of developing diarrhea among these who ingested water from the river. The QMRA indicated a significant risk of infection for populations who depend on the Umsunduzi River for the recreational activities primarily associated with the Cryptosporidium species.
For the degree of Philosophy in Health Sciences, I present Mdluli Zintle Pel.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences. Congratulations, Dr. Mdluli. Well done.
For the degree of Philosophy, of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, the study titled Cervical Spinal Manipulation for Neck Pain Effect on Muscle Recruitment Patterns, Spinal Kinematics, Pain and Disability in Participants in KwaZulu-Natal, supervised by Professor J.D. Pillay and co-supervised by Professor B. Murphy. I would like to call Professor Pillay to read the summary.
Neck pain is a common disabling condition with high personal and economic impact. It has been proposed to affect cervical spinal function, negatively impacting the person with neck pain. The study aimed to assess cervicothoracic spinal kinematics and muscle activity patterns in neck pain by establishing their presence in a cohort of South Africans, and to determine how a commonly utilized therapeutic treatment, cervical spinal manipulation, impacts this presentation. The study was conducted in a biomechanics laboratory where a case-controlled design established that participants with neck pain had altered spinal kinematic and muscle recruitment strategies when performing certain tasks, and that the observed changes were task-dependent. Using a randomized placebo-controlled trial, novel insights were gained into the effects of cervicospinal manipulation for neck pain and its effect on motor control. It was found that this treatment alleviates pain and disability and improves quality of life, but also resulted in a complex interplay of physiological changes affecting motor control. Initially, there was an increased movement jerk, suggesting a temporary shift in movement control, accompanied by altered muscle activation patterns. We observed reduced activity in specific cervical muscles, while other muscles, particularly in the cervicothoracic region, exhibited increased activation. This study highlighted that spinal manipulative therapy may not solely attenuate pain, but exerts a substantial influence on underlying neuromuscular control mechanisms, which may optimize sensoromotor function. These findings have implications for our understanding of spinal manipulative therapy mechanisms and may inform future research on optimizing treatment protocols for managing neck pain.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, I present O'Connor Laura May.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences. Congratulations, Dr. O'Connor.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, the title of the thesis, A Qualitative Inquiry on the Physical, Psychological, and Social Effects of the 2022 Floods on Individuals, Families, and Communities in eThekwini, KwaZulu-Natal, supervised by Professor R. Bagwan. I will ask Prof. Bagwan to read the summary.
Natural disasters are one of the most complex global phenomena of the modern era, with catastrophic effects for humankind. Guided by an instrumental case study design, the researcher gathered the lived stories of individuals across different communities in KwaZulu-Natal who were caught within the torrential floods. Death, trauma, and the destruction of property and infrastructure dominated the themes across this landscape. The study found that there were multifaceted factors that intersected with disaster exposure, including human displacement, the loss of loved ones as many were washed away, never to be found, and the loss of income for those whose informal employment was located in the flood-stricken areas. The voices of those affected reflected the crippling effects on human health, which transcended the boundaries of all sectors of the community studied. Inevitably, those most vulnerable, such as those in informal settlements, were most impacted as they had to be rapidly evacuated to community-based shelters. Flood-related health effects that were found included mortality, drownings, hypothermia, fractures and injuries amongst the elderly and children, with many requiring emergency evacuation and others experiencing the exacerbation of pre-existing illness and the transmission of contagious diseases. The mental health sequelae were just as acute, with participants presenting with acute stress disorder, depression, anxiety, traumatic grief, and sleep disturbances. Community-based shelters became a fertile space for other health problems such as influenza, respiratory illness, and malnutrition, as many displaced families had to survive within overcrowded spaces, but with very little resources. This not only posed a direct threat to their health, but led to a spike in violence and other social ills because of their protracted stay at these shelters. Despite the trauma and loss, resilience was fostered through the coordinated efforts of community and spiritual leaders who rallied around to provide food, other material resources, health support, and counseling to families. The study documented the need for a robust approach related to early warning systems, community, mental health, and social support, technological innovation and policy formulation related to a more resilient infrastructure that would mitigate the effects on humankind in the event of future disasters, and prioritize long-term recovery plans for those most affected.
For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences, I present Singh Vikesh.
I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Health Sciences. Congratulations, Dr. Singh.
Thank you.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, for the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Child and Youth Care, for the study titled The Value of the Strengths-Based Approach at Residential Child and Youth Care Facilities in eThekwini, KwaZulu-Natal, supervised by Dr. F. Dewan, I present Kumalo Kosingphile Thembi. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Child and Youth Care, the study titled An Exploration of the Role of Child and Youth Care Workers during the April 2020 floods in eThekwini, KwaZulu-Natal, supervised by Professor R. Bagwan. I present Ngobo Nonkululeko Princess. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences, Child and Youth Care, the study titled An Exploratory Study of Resilience Building Strategies in Community-Based Child and Youth Care in Inanda, KwaZulu-Natal, supervised by Prof. F. Dewan. I present Ntlokwana Sinolizwi Philangezwi. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences, the study titled Perceptions of Primary Healthcare Workers on Injectable HIV Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis, PrEP, in campus health clinics in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, supervised by Dr. D. Gumede and co-supervised by Dr. N. Mpofana. I present Mbatha Nomvuselelo Nomzamo, cum laude, Dean's Merit. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Clinical Technology, the study titled Evaluating the Ratio of Mature Oocytes to Immature Oocytes in Oocyte Cohorts, aspirated from HIV seropositive and HIV seronegative female post-control ovarian hyperstimulation. The study was supervised by Professor D.R. Prakaschandra and co-supervised by Mr. E. Gabriel. I present Ndlela Nombuso Felicia. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Environmental Health, the study titled Assessment of Microbial Safety of Street Prepared Foods and the Role of Environmental Health Practitioners in Ensuring Street Food Safety in Polokwane, Limpopo. Supervised by Dr. M. Hwari. I present Rankwana Dineo Sharon. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Chiropractic, the study titled The Epidemiology of Musculoskeletal Pain in Dressage Drivers in KwaZulu-Natal, a cross-sectional study, supervised by Professor S. Chetty and co-supervised by Dr. D. Varatharajulu. I present Albert Jessica. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Chiropractic, the study titled An Epidemiological Study of Medial Tibial Stress Syndrome Type 2 in club hockey players in the eThekwini municipality, supervised by Professor J.D. Pillay and co-supervised by Dr. F. Ali. I present Blackburn Jonathan Stephen. For the degree of Master of Health Sciences in Chiropractic, the study titled The Prevalence and Associated Risk Factors of Musculoskeletal Disorders in Students Who Utilize Public Transport at a University of Technology in South Africa, supervised by Dr. D. Varatharajulu. I present Hlongwa Maibongwe Tandokuhle. For the degree Master of Health Sciences in Chiropractic, the study titled Exploring the Perceptions and Experiences of Chiropractors in the eThekwini municipality regarding interprofessional referrals, supervised by Dr. D. Varatharajulu. I present Kolia Amina. For the degree Master of Technology in Chiropractic, the study titled Exploring the Perceptions of Chiropractors in the eThekwini municipalities on the role of chiropractic care in the management of post-surgical lumbar pain, supervised by Dr. A. Abdul Rashid and co-supervised by Dr. K. Padayachi. I present Fori Johan Karel. Degree of Master of Technology in Chiropractic, the study titled The Effectiveness of Transcutaneous Electrical Nerve Stimulation on Adhesive Capsulitis, a systematic review, supervised by Professor B. Chiliza and co-supervised by Dr. A. van der Meulen. I present Gutscheren Genista. I now call upon the relevant HODs to take over the announcing of the names of the graduandi as per the program. Thank you.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, for the postgraduate diploma in child and youth care, I present Kanile Mpumelelo. Kumalo Pamela Tandeka. King Elizabeth. Snenjabulo Happiness Mtetwa. Sibongile Gladys Mzulwini. Ndlapo Nontlantla Hilda. Ngumalo Zandile Lungile. Rafiri Tasakile Laurentia. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Child and Youth Care, I present Bulose Tabani. Biki Yandile. Bokwe Latita. Buthelezi Nkosikimpile. For the degree cum laude, Buthelezi Sanelesiwe Slentlantla. Dubazane Nobubele. Cum laude, Madondo Smangaliso Peaceful. Cum laude, Mazdop Zinedine Licia. Mabaso Toleni Lungaleni. Cum laude, Masinga Rose. Cum laude, Mkize Buisile. Guni Indumiso Speciale. Cum laude and receiving the Dean's Merit Award for Academic Excellence, Mnisi Nobubelo Fortunate. Cum laude Mkai Simangele Janet. Mohoto Nabaheleng. Pochane Samkelisiwe Mashenge. Msomi Lishlitemba Zama. Mtetwa Lungelo Sipokushle. Mtiane Neliswa Londeka. Mtolo Tembeka Immaculate. Naidu Tremaine Della Rose. Ndisila Ntombizonke. Ndlovu Semukelisiwe. Ngobo Filasande. Gwachula sinenhlanhla. Nini sinesipho. Kwanyana Tandiwe Zama. Tamo Asemashle. Ntuka Tulile. Pakati Peaceful Nomfundo. Cum laude Satema Radisang Lesedi. Sikakane Ngokolo. Sosibo Tandiswa Petronella. Tabede Nomtandazo. Tabede Nomvula Nokukanya. Sondo Nokwande Anele. Zungu Sifundu Nkoliwe. Swane Sempiwe Bongiwe Andile. Deputy Vice Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Health Sciences in Chiropractic, I present Adam Juwadia. Boy Kyle Peter. Kada Sumeya. Chatterton Bailey. Chetia Tharushan. Diwan Asma. Dinda Sadia Imran. Gladla Spelile Charity. Dokrat Huda. Gounden Bronwyn Edward. Hayes Courtney Jade. Cum laude Hibbert Caleb Mark. Huang Chao-wei. Kali Sibela Atalia. Khan Nasia. Kumalo Nsizwa Marika. Kirsten Tian Cassidy. Kuzanyei Laura Nyasha. Lotta Cameron Craig. Mullah Riyad. Nike Michaela. Radebe Ngobile. Simon Leighton Jesse. Cum laude and receiving the Dean's Merit Award for Academic Excellence, Sabji Amira. Schultz Reynard. Suram Kiara. Shude Zetu. Suktyo Tamisha. Vladescu Madison Helen. Wade Kaylee Amber. Cum laude Wilson Jessica Deanne. Deputy Vice Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Health Sciences in Clinical Technology, I present Cum laude Benjamin Jordan Zion. Bengu Nozipo Tabile. Belose Nobushle. Butelezi Sindisiwe. Cum laude Bucks Aisha. Chetty Felicia Callista. Cum laude Dlamini Ntanayenkosi Tobekile. Dlamini Pilokazi. Gerald Terrell Shira. Cum laude Govender Tishka. Gwala Nonsendiso. Inderjit Yuvika. Itumiseng Hilebohile. Maharaj Kaushik. Cum laude Maharaj Shaniqua. Makanya Slinklantla Happiness. Mbata Nolwazi. Mkize Tulani Mpendulo Siandumiso. Mpanza Sinemile Sinoto. Ibtangai Mishlali. Mtembu Bushle. Mshali Kelo Fortune. Munsami Shriya. Cum laude Nell Mitchell Trevor. Ngubane Nondumiso. Nyandeni Stembiso Masuli Owetu. Pele Donnell. Radebe Sabelo Ndankla Nkululelo. Cum laude and the Dean's Merit Award for Academic Excellence, Ramya Joel Jadine. Cum laude Suktyo Leticia.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, for the degree of Bachelor of Health Sciences in Environmental Health, I present Andrea Govender. Mabaleka Mpolokeng. Mabaleka Mpabale. Matenjwa Prince Mlungisi. Mbata Tembeka Kwanele. Memela Tamsanga Brian. Mgushelo Apola. Mtiyane Msizi Armstrong. Ntlenyama Jehovah. Nkwanyana Mxolisi Mlungisi Danielson. Qina Lisakanya Bridget. Khadebe Lungile Peaceworth. Sibia Setabile Nompumelelo. Sibia Sipamandla Doctor. Aba Nwele Mondli Pilio. Thank you. Zita Sinenjabulo Witness. Zulu Nkosiname Mfanelo. Deputy Vice Chancellor for the degree of Bachelor of Health Sciences in Medical Laboratory Science, I present Buthelezi Sisanda. Devraj Sayuri Kaylee. Dube Bongeka event. Gasa Nolwazi Primrose. Patience. Sabisa Sihle Nomzamo. Awarded cum laude with the Dean's Merit Award for Academic Excellence, Govindusamy Diaksha. Govinda Caitlin. Sambisa Bandile Sihle. Sengwa Amanda Silveria. Kanyane Rowena Kamejo. Kubone Letoguse Tandega. Kumalo Fanele. Kuzwayo Nelisa Sindiswa. Madondile Inamingos. Mapumulo Sanzegile. Awarded cum laude, Mapumulo Nomfundo Noreen. Matula Sizopila Winlove. Mbuli Letuktula Tobeka. Mkonde Lindiwe. Mkonza Pagamani. Ngube Melobuse Nondumiso. Awarded cum laude Mukwena Khatleho. Moodley Teshin. Msibi Tabo. Msomi Sanele. Awarded cum laude, Munsami Tennyson Taylor. Mvelase Pelisani Notolo. Awarded cum laude, Naidu Sheral Leia. Ndlela Sengekile. Papa Jadin Kelly. Raghunath Nekisha. Ramdani Yashin. Rasiklal Kishalia. Sibeko Andile. Smedden Taylor Naomi. Tikana Siamtanda. Chabalala Ayanda Ntomkaise. Zuma Nomvelo. Zwane Nonjabulo Petunia. Deputy Vice Chancellor, for the higher certificate in dental assisting, I present cum laude Dlamini Xolile Ntomzodwa. Dongolo Nomtandazo. Fakude Siabonga. Gabela Asanda, Gumede Sisipo Melanie Amathe, Sela Zamoguhle Luyanda, awarded cum laude Magasela Tabiso, Kumalo Sanele Lisijo, Lifuma Disebo, Madondo Junior Sydney, Madondo Minga Ayanda, Mahashe Esther Lina, Mangliva Ongama, Matia Linda Ziletes Kanyisile, Matladi Tulufelo, Mkize Nosipo Angel, Mwango Zintle Ayanda, Mnukwa Akwanga, Ndinisa Noklunga Happiness, Njapa Wendy, awarded cum laude Nkosi Tianza Christabel, Sibia Lungelo, awarded cum laude Sibia Nokwanda Shamain, Skakane Amanda Sfumene, awarded cum laude Tabete Amanda, Kubeka Sizeka Nomvula,
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for the graduating class of 2025. Congratulations. And let me also firstly say how grateful we are that you've helped us to maintain the dignity and decorum of the ceremony. And secondly, how sad we are to see so many of our adaptive graduates without their mortarboards. After earning the right and graduating, you need to put your mortarboards on to complete the graduation process. It's like driving a car with no tires. It just doesn't look good. I know many of you spent a lot of money on your hair, your extensions, your colors, your weaves, but this is your graduation day. So you've earned the right to wear your mortarboards as adaptive graduates. So adaptive graduates, I'd like to address you for a short while. We realize that you've invested a lot to arrive at this moment in your life. There's been struggle and sacrifice that went into achieving the success you are tasting today. The amount of time and energy that you've had to invest in your studies. Do you remember those early mornings, those late nights, the challenges of load shedding? Hey, you remember Saturday nights when your friends would give you a call and they'll say, hey, Jessica, let's go party. And what would you say? No, not me, I don't party. In fact, you were partying with your library books on a Saturday, right? Dedicated students. There may have been times when you felt alone, writing your doctoral thesis and wondering, why am I doing this? Sitting for your exams and thinking, oh my goodness, I wish I was on the beach. But you know, you were never truly alone. You had your loved ones who were here with you, and you've had blessings from above. As we say here in KwaZulu-Natal, umuntu, ngamuntu, ngabantu. A person is a person because of people. So adaptive graduates, I'm going to give you a chance to help me, to help you to show appreciation and give gratitude, to say thank you to some of your people who are here today and others who are watching online and those who are celebrating your success in heaven. So please stand, adaptive graduates, and turn to your right or behind and give a big round of applause and point your graduation scroll in their direction as a symbol of your appreciation for the love, support, and encouragement. Ngiyabonga kakhulu. Thank you. And now if you could face the stage and say thank you to the Faculty of Health Sciences that have been behind you all the way. And finally, please stay standing. You're going to say, Alan, you just asked us to put the mortarboards on. Well, there was a reason. Apart from looking good, I wanted to give you the chance to raise your mortarboards, to raise your voices in celebration of your success. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, I present the graduating class of 2025. Make some noise! Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. Thank you. Thank you. So a special note to our adaptive graduates. You may have found a plastic candle on your chair. Do you have it? If you have it, can you raise your hands? Great. Now, this plastic candle belongs to the Faculty of Health Sciences. It is not an early Christmas present. The Executive Dean, Professor Mkunu, will be joining me at the podium in a short while.
emkhakheni wobungcweti kwezempilo. You are not saying the oath to us or to your peers, but it's for the community that you serve. So I will ask you to stand, light your candles. Unfortunately, because it's a big group, you cannot face the audience, but it's meant for the audience. So I will ask you to stand, and also your lecturers, your professors this side. You can then say this after me. As a graduate of the Faculty of Health Sciences at the Durban University of Technology, oh, by the way, it's there in the programs, those who have, I will then start. It's page 24. Sorry about that. Okay, we can start. As a graduate of the Faculty of Health Sciences at the Durban University of Technology, I promise to serve my country and my community to the best of my ability. And to live up to the ideals of my alma mater and my profession. I stand before this congregation to affirm my commitment and make a solemn promise to abide by this pledge. And in doing so, I swear that I dedicate my life to the service of humanity by maintaining utmost respect for human life. And I will not use my medical knowledge contrary to the laws of humanity. I will endeavor to ensure that the health and wellness of all individuals that I encounter will be my first consideration. I will practice my profession with conscience and accountability. I will not permit considerations of religion, nationality, gender, race, or social standing to influence my professional duty. I will approach every individual with empathy, integrity, and dignity, and maintain their confidentiality and trust. I will strive to act ethically, with respect, humility, and compassion towards all individuals. As an adaptive graduate, I commit to engage in lifelong learning, to continuously upgrade my knowledge and skills, and seek opportunities for professional development. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you. You may be seated. To Honorable Chair of the Council, Mr. Wiseman Madinane, members of the Council, and the Vice Chancellor, Professor Tandon Tembu, in absentia. Deputy Vice Chancellors who are here with us today, Dr. Mohale and Professor Fulu Nemabola. The Deputy Dean, colleagues in the Faculty of Health Sciences, parents, siblings, and the SRC leadership, if they are here today. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Molweni sanibonani. Awunadangala nje. Sanibonani, good morning. There we go. It is my pleasure to deliver this congratulatory message to you this morning on behalf of the Faculty of Health Sciences. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you, the class of 2025, for your phenomenal achievements. I haven't told you how stunning you look this morning. Nibahle, niyaglowa, nibahle, you look. Can you please give yourself a big round of applause? To the guests who are here with us this morning, we are greatly honored and privileged that you could come in numbers to share this memorable moment with us. We thank each and every one of you who contributed to the success of this graduation, the staff, both academic and support, who are there at the back. Thank you very much for your presence and for showcasing our faculty with the graduates that we have today. Thank you to the parents, a specific and a very special thanks to the parents and family members, sponsors, guardians, and all our stakeholders for the role that you have played in ensuring that our students graduate today. We appreciate you. Much appreciation goes to the mentors, our will partners, both in the public sector, the Department of Health, and also in the private sector, the businesses, the NGOs, and everyone for their assistance in ensuring that you complete your qualifications. A special thank you to all Health Sciences Department staff in both Durban and Midlands campuses, and also to everyone else, including the Olive Convention Center staff, for preparing this venue. We thank you for making sure that our venue looks this beautiful. We know that putting together an event like this will take a lot of effort, so we really thank you for your efforts. To our graduates today, I want to say that today defines the coming of age for you. When we see you, we won't call you the student at DUT. We will call you a graduate of DUT. So, this is the end of one era of life and moving on to a new age in which you will be expected to lead as a leader and to do whatever is expected of you as a doer. And as an achiever, you will be expected to achieve in the wider world. Graduating today is not merely about celebrating and dancing and shouting here on stage. We train you to become healthcare workers who act professionally, but also who think as the 21st century graduates with critical thinking and problem-solving skills. These skills you really need out there because they will help you to navigate a changing healthcare system. Healthcare system is no longer the same. It's no longer in the 90s where we used to do things in the 90s way. There are so many challenges: the climate change, the pollution, poverty, inequality, you name it. You have to be ready for this ever-evolving healthcare system that is being redefined by technology, automation, and urgent need for sustainable solutions for our unique societal changes. I was telling the graduates yesterday that uma ufika lapha ngaphandle usuyosebenza izinto azifani. They won't be treating you with cotton gloves. They won't be reminding you about the assignments. I actually said, ziyakhala strong lapha. You just have to be ready. The world of work is different. This is where the adaptive graduates attributes come in. You need to think about transcending the isolated patient treatment to integrate other interconnected technological layers. You can no longer do things the same way like we used to do. Now there is AI. You need to think about AI, how you will incorporate AI in your daily practice. There is genomics, there is remote patient monitoring. You have to think like an entrepreneur. As you graduate today and take these new challenges, you need to remember that every class you've taken, every laboratory work you have done, every assignment, every award that you have earned, they have been preparing you to adapt to these changes and challenges. But you don't have to be like that if you are a DUT graduate. You can't just say, "Bengiyaphi moya ongcwele." You have to do things. So I was asking AI, my friend, I said, how is DUT graduates different from other graduates? AI says, DUT graduates stand out because they do not rely solely on academics, but they blend academics with practical, technology-driven innovation and have an entrepreneurial DNA, which is true. So as you go out there, you need to think about Ralph Waldo Emerson's quote, which says, "Do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." So the question you should be asking yourself is, what difference do you want to make in your profession as you go out there? And what do you want to be remembered for? In closing, we would like to thank you for choosing DUT as your university of choice, and we hope that the number of years you've spent with us at DUT have changed your lives for the better. Go out there to the world and be the change that we have been waiting for. Fly the DUT flag high up by being creative, distinctive, and impactful. Once again, congratulations, be safe, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Mkunu, for those inspiring, insightful, and motivating words. Adaptive graduates, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the end of this morning's graduation ceremony. In a short while, the award-winning DUT chorale will be singing the national anthem. There is protocol attached to the national anthem, so let me just refresh your memories if you don't know. When we sing the anthem, we will all be required to be standing, if you are able to. If for any medical reasons or any other reasons you can't stand, then you are allowed to sit. But otherwise, you would be requested to stand. If I could please ask all the men to remove their hats, caps, or headgear during the singing of the national anthem. Ladies, the protocol allows you to keep and retain your hats, caps, and headgear on your heads. So ladies allowed with their headgear, gentlemen to please remove them. When you stand to sing the national anthem, it's customary and protocol to stand to attention with arms at your side. At the end of the national anthem, we humbly request that the congregation remains standing. At that point, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Mohale, will officially dissolve this morning's congregation. Dr. Mohale will then lead the academic recession of stage. I will then pause in front of our newly crowned doctorates and invite Dr. Pafane, Dr. Bastev, Dr. Mbluli, Dr. O'Connor, and Dr. Singh to join the Academy as we exit the auditorium as a mark of respect for your outstanding academic achievement. Once we exit the hall, we then humbly request that you also exit your rows and the hall in a safe and orderly manner. Before we sing the anthem, I just need to let our adaptive graduates know that you will soon be receiving an SMS from the Center for Quality Promotion and Assurance at DUT. It's our DUT graduate survey. It helps the university, and importantly, it will help other DUT adaptive graduates who will be following in your footsteps in the years to come. So please take a few minutes to click on the link and then help us with our DUT adaptive graduate survey from the DUT Center for Quality Promotion and Assurance. Thank you once again for your attention and applause this morning. It's been wonderful spending time and celebrating with you. Remember to share your posts and pics on social media, hashtag DUTGrad2026. I'd now like to ask the DUT Chorale to prepare for the singing of the national anthem. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, and adaptive graduates, could you please stand for the singing of the national anthem of the Republic of South Africa. May God bless you, and may God bless South Africa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me, I now dissolve this congregation of the Durban University of Technology. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Some of you came from afar, some of you came from surrounding places. Without your attendance, we wouldn't have enjoyed in the way that we did. Ralibuha, nahambe kahle.
Was molestam senetutem, nos habebitur. dicitur, juvenes dum sumus, doctiamus dicitur, juvenes dum sumus, post secundum juventutem, post monestam senetutem, nos habebitus, nos habebitus.
Ai Siti Ela.
Siti au.
Kibeli pasi, anda gitselali palunguti, kibeli pasi, anda gitselali palunguti, umdobe washalaika usazoqhubeka washe yobe ngeke tshele umdobe pheka la ekhaya usazoqhubeka pheke yobe ngeke tshele uzungangikadi mngama ngikhetshele yobe ngeke tshele mina awuma it's after it's uyanibiza ubaba wenu usephelile ishumile minyaka amayithi awuma it's after it's uyanibiza ubaba wenu